Hey, what's up there? Let me talk to you. Now we got some breaking news coming from WWE that they have finally announced their main event for WrestleMania, and it's going to be a women's main event for the first time in 35 years in the making. That Ronda, Becky, and Charlotte will be main eventing WrestleMania this year for the Raw Women's Championship. And to be quite honest, we've already seen this a mile away. We have saw that this was going to be potentially the main event. It wasn't going to be Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar. It wasn't going to be Kofi Kingston versus Daniel Bryan. Hell, it wasn't going to be Kurt Angle's last match against Boring Corbin, okay? This was bound to happen sooner than later. And interesting fact about this is going to be the second time that a UFC fighter is going to be main eventing WrestleMania. Now, first time was Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar already main evented WrestleMania back in 2003 before he even became a UFC fighter, but that's not the case at all. The case is, Ronda Rousey is main eventing alongside with two other special women who revolutionized a part of the women's revolution. Now, you can say it all you want that Paige did revolutionize the women's division of now, and it's gone to the part where women are now treated like men, finally, and women are now showcased as like the Stone Colds, the Rocks, the Triple H's, the Shawn Michaels, the Bret Harts, the Hogans, the Undertakers, and so on and so forth. But you gotta wonder yourself by noticing this. When women were looked back in the past, did you think any of them were any sorts of that image that all of those people that I was talking about that Vince would see? No. The answer is no. Now, if you look at the Ruthless Aggression era, there was two pioneers who helped shape that up, and that was Trish and Lita, who had their first ever women's main event on a Monday Night Raw, and it was a fantastic match for the women's championship, and they both put on such a hell of a performance, both breaking their bodies, bending their bodies if your name is Lita, and and that's where they got the ideas. It's like, okay, we need to showcase these women more often. The first women's stipulation, I know the women's Hell in a Cell match between Sasha and Charlotte has been like the first since for a lot of years, but people were forgetting that Victoria and Molly Holly started that with the women's steel cage match. And then we got to nowadays where we have women's Hell in a Cell matches all the way to women's Royal Rumble matches. And you can say this, and I'm gonna tell you this is the first ever women's main event pay-per-view, period. And the Royal Rumble does not count. Evolution doesn't count, because we know that Evolution is pretty much what they're taking from TNA and Shimmer and etc. But sometimes you gotta take something from other companies and promotions and you gotta make it your own version and see how things are going out so well. And Evolution was a success pay-per-view, in my opinion. But the most feud in my eyes from, if we're talking about TNA, from the past that main evented an actual pay-per-view or show was something that I saw in my mind when I was glued to my seat and to my eyes and the TV as well as everybody else, and that was Gail Kim versus Awesome Kong for the Knockouts Championship. It was such a nice performance to see these ladies go out and showcase what they can do that are just like the men can do. And long down the line, if you saw the brand split, SmackDown was more of like the showgirls. The showgirls in Vegas that would strip tease, dance in front of your eyes, and everybody would be just looking at you and just like getting a boner. Well, Raw had some hard-hitting women that would, take it to their limits, like Trish and Lita, like I just said before. But what really did it all was the women's of NXT. The four horsewomen, Becky, Charlotte, Sasha, and Bayley. Bayley and Sasha had their own women's Iron Man match for the first time, and that's what got the idea, and finally WWE is woken up and they have to do something for these women. The women cannot be showcased like that of just a piss break for the fans, and like having such a butterfly championship that is for nothing. And we all know these women are not like that. These are hard-hitting women from the indies like Becky, Bailey, and Sasha, who work their ass off to get to here. You know, certain, like, we're talking about people like Ronda Rousey, who goes around and talking about, oh, wrestling is fake, you know, nobody can touch me, I'm unstoppable, yada, yada, yada. UFC is better than WWE. Let me tell you this. Everybody is bitching about that. You're just as a crybaby as Ronda Rousey. And I can tell you this, Ronda Rousey's all doing this for a show. You really think that Ronda really says all of that is true? You think Ronda really is disrespecting her inspiration of the reason why she got into the wrestling business, Roddy Piper? Absolutely not. She's doing this for just to get some heat, just to get some hype for their show, for WrestleMania, for their main event. And I think it's a good start. I mean, for all we know, I know that she has a bad reputation, no pun intended, for being a bad promo, mic skills, and her for wrestling. And we all know that she's just started now. She's like a rookie in the WWE. She's like Shayna Baszler, who is also part of the 4 Horsewomen of MMA. She started out in Shimmer Wrestling back in 2014. She didn't get to like this as Ronda, but she kept developing her character. She kept developing her set of skills in the ring, and that's where she is right now in the NXT Women's Champion. But these women have always been, and we just haven't, it's been blind to our eyes. And in front of us, we didn't see clearly what they were doing. And the WWE has watered them down. Everybody's going to get watered down, and of course that's a fact. But these women were not in the same praise as men back in the day as they are today. And I think they are today. If you see someone like Asuka, who is not in that type of way, that they're not doing anything with her because she's injured, and now they're going to have some number 1 contenders match for SmackDown. But it's all about creating a story. It's all about creating women with gimmicks that people are going to be invested first. Gimmicks are first, the wrestling is second in my eyes. And you know, that's where these women lie down and they take it. They take it like champs. And we're going to see who's going to be that exact champion at the pay-per-view at WrestleMania in just a couple of weeks. And I'm stoked for it. I'm hyped for it. It's going to be amazing, you know, to see these women put on some good main event at WrestleMania. And, you know, it's going to be good that these women are going to have a women's main event and now. Because, you know, for the past WrestleManias, a long time ago, it's been mostly a male sport, and now they're finally realizing that if we could do this more often, the more main events we have for pay-per-views, the more we'll do it at, for example, you know, Extreme Rules or like something big like SummerSlam. It's good. It's a trend that they're going to keep on moving. The train has to keep on chugging. That's the little engine that could, and I think it could make it work if they do something right with these women. Whether you're a champion or whether you're not, you gotta have a mindset if you want to be a success in life and in wrestling and all that type of jazz. But all fairness, this is going to be a great step forward into the women's revolution. And hopefully they keep continuing this in the future of pay-per-views or WrestleManias. Hopefully maybe women are probably going to get main storylines than men. We'll never know. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it. That's why I have to tell you that breaking news, and now my dog is interrupting me. I'm trying to end this video right now. I don't know why. Yeah, I get it. But anyway, thank you all for watching this video. And make sure to share this video, leave a comment, like this video. Let me know what you guys think. If you think that this women's revolution is good, is bad, do you think the women's main event WrestleMania is a good thing, bad thing? Let me know. And I'll see all the comments. But until then, this is Mr. Brokenator signing off. See y'all next time. Whenever I see you guys, I bid adieu to you all. Goodbye. Mwah. And good shit. You know the drill. Deuces.